G'day and welcome again to my studio. Here's another episode of my studio build. Bit busy at the moment, trying to catch up with some work anyway, a bit of mixing going on. But anyway, great stuff is this week I will be talking about the manhole and the cover and how I designed it to make it soundproof. I'll go into a bit of a discussion about that. And then I discuss the main patch bay on the wall here, how I'm going to wire it up and how it's kind of working and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to talk about a little bit of an update on what's going on and where I am up to at this stage. And then I discuss the issue of the internet. So I talk about how I solved the Wi-Fi issue in here, because as soon as I put the walls up, I couldn't connect to our household Wi-Fi, so I had to come up with a solution. So I discuss how I did that, and also you'll start seeing the beginning parts of the paintwork that went on in here, and then at the end of it you will actually go along and see me soldering up, and then there's a bit more of a discussion about where we are, what I'm thinking and how it's all going. You see a few updates. Hopefully you like it. Give us a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed, make sure you tick the box and ding the bells so you get notified of my new videos that are going up. Also, if you've got any questions, anything you want to discuss, please enter it below and we can just converse. It's great talking to people about different things. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy it. Take care, and here's the music. Okay, we're kind of getting near the end of things now. All the painting's finished. I'm just finishing off the manhole. Now, I'm not too sure what happened some time ago when I actually put the ceiling in with the manhole. For some reason we've got no footage of it. I can't find it. But anyway, I've gone along it and I've created, I call it my bung. So basically what I've done, I've taken the original wall. Okay, I've cut a section out. I've added the two pieces, so the original wall's basically there. So it's 7mm ply, 70mm timber, 70mm ply on top. And then inside, of course, you've got your soundproofing. And then I've put an overlip on the outside. And then what I've done is I am putting at the moment the seal. Now this is a soundproofing seal, and I will be putting it on this part, on the lip, and then there's a lip, and the two together should, when the weight of this, because it's not light, when this pushes down on it, it should actually seal the roof off. So I've got double seal on this unit, so one seal will sit on this section, this sits on top of the roof, and then of course you can see through here it's actually quite thick, okay, and it's fairly heavy, so the weight of this should squash this down, and then seal it up nice. And then, so the one I bought is Moriday, okay. This is the best one I could find. I bought another one before that was more square and a very soft. To me that would be great if you used it, say, for my windows, which I'm going to have to take out every so often because it gets moisture in there, and I haven't got the money to put gas in there and seal it up airtight so no moisture gets in. So I'll go along and I'll put that seal on because it's very, very tight, and that will seal it, but I can actually take it apart. So that's something I'm going to have to do a bit later on. This one here is the one I could find that actually will work. It even tells you on the back of these what ones you can use, and I picked the one that is soundproofing as well. So that's a good brand if you get a chance and you need anything to seal, and this will be going around all my doors. So I've got the front door, and I've got the second door in there. And also I bought one a while back, which I think I bought the wrong one. It was more of a foam. And back in the day when I started this whole thing, I didn't check. And it does not soundproof. It's only for dust and stuff like that. Hence why still some sound gets into my sound booth around the door frame. So I'll be taking that out and I'll be replacing it with this. So this will go around all my seals. Anyway, I suppose I better get back to it. Well, here we go. The exciting stuff's starting to happen now. I'm starting to get the nice colours on the wall. I'm prepping it up. I've got the main colours down, and you'll also see that there's no trim, or the lines aren't all nice and straight, because what's going to happen is there's going to be nice cream trim that's going to cover the joins. So just basically getting the colours in first before I attack the walls with the cream colour. It's easier to paint the trim before you put it on, and then trying to paint the trim in a different colour whilst they're on. Here we go, closer to the end now. This is the panel I just made. It's a wall box. As you can see, everything comes into here, so all my 16 inputs come into here. Because of the thickness of the timber, which is about 12mm, I couldn't run the headphone jacks straight into the framework, so I've actually put them onto plates. So that's the 8 headphone jacks. I have surround sound, or I've got extra speakers, so I can play surround sound. So of course that's going to be the right bank, that's going to be the left bank. And in here is that unit I was talking about, where I've got on the wall over the other side here, I've got another end of this, which has got a HDMI to DVI cable to go into the monitor. So that'll come out of the connector out of my computer into here. And then I have the same thing again coming out of HDMI, converting it back to DVI, and plugs into my computer. And these will be my 2 USB ports, and one will be for my Native Instruments new keyboard and the new machiner, which will go onto another table over the other side. These here are for my door. This is the power for the strobe outside, which I'll go into more detail later on, and this is the power supply for the door lock. So that's my plate all ready to go. The fun part is now I get to go along and I have to shorten all these cables up, relabel them properly. I've got to put a labeler and fix them all up, and then a hell of a lot of soldering to go. So that's my little unit. She's on the wall ready to go. So I've got basically from here, the carpet's done. As you can see, this is the new carpet in. The carpet's finished. All I have to do now is solder all these in, pretty much. I've got the wall plates and the headphone units to go in. After that, I've got to put a couple of speakers in, a few bits and pieces like my bass traps in the corners. I've got to go in there, they're on their way. I've also just recently set up a Wi-Fi setup because I had issues out here and I didn't want to run phone lines and all that sort of stuff. There's a great stuff done by Netgear that runs it through your power system. So what I did was I had the power from the shed or the studio that ran inside and then connected to my power points. I had that taken off, run to the power point where our Wi-Fi system is, and then run back to its own switch at the board. Now, because it's on the one system, I can send the signal from the Wi-Fi system there through the power line and comes out in the Netgear here. So now I have internet connection in here without running phone lines in and all sorts of other dramas you've got to do. But anyway, that's her ready to go. As you can see, there's the back. I'll do a lot of soldering, a lot of connections. The only issue I'm having is I had a lot of cable out that end of my HDMI, and I wish this was a bit longer, but you know, I can connect it when the door's nearly shut, like now it's connected, and then I just push it back through the wall, and then I can get it open to here, unplug it if I have to get into the wall again. I want to get a little handle and a little clip when I shut it. Other than that, that's her. Power points are in, all my power's done. Like I said, I've got some speakers to put in, a bit of sound traps. I've got the second door to go in at the entry. I've got to paint the sound booth. Other than that, everything else is finished. All the painting's done, apart from, like I said, the other doors, the 2 new doors that'll go in. That's it, and I should be operational very shortly. So anyway, I suppose I better get into tagging and labelling. Well, there you go. We're on to the last section. I've got all the other wirings actually done. I've just finished putting solder into all the back of the XLR, and then I can now start connecting my little cables in, and yeah, pretty close to this panel being completed. Then I can shut this up. I'm going to then put my actual console back where it should be,
and then I can go around and solder or fit off the rest of the plates, and then I can do all the cable testing and all that sort of stuff, and make sure all the circuits are correct and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, she's getting close, mate. I'm pretty happy now. I've only got 16 XLRs to put in now, and then I'm ready to go. So, but anyway, I suppose we get back to it.
Well, welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that show. Busy. Got to keep up with all the mixing. I've got the wife pecking me on the back of the head to get this done. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said before, any comments, please enter it below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and tick the bell so you can keep up with what's going on. And don't forget, you can also link to my Facebook page and then see what's really going on in Tin Shed Studios. And that's my day-to-day channel, basically. Anyway, you have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next time. Here's the music. Cheers.